The courtroom falls silent as a young man, Mr. Ridley, stands before the judge, his future hanging by a thread. No school, no job, and a judge who's rapidly running out of patience. But when the topic of a no-contact order surfaces, the tone in the courtroom suddenly shifts.
Riley, last time he was here, Your Honor, asked him to
Mr. Vaughn?
do some employment, which he's done. I've got proof of that.
Okay.
Schooling, I spoke to his mother and his aunt, and the issue there is he doesn't like the school he's zoned to. It's not a great, fit for him. And so he's trying to get with the aunt, and there's just some logistical issues. But I spoke to both the individuals, and I mean, he's making good faith efforts to do it. He's just has not yet.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Ridley, come up. Is mom here? Who's that?
I don't. Yeah. I spoke to her last night and she wants to know. Okay, yeah.
Is that mom? Are you mom? Come on up.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. It's great. So what's going on with Mr. Ridley now?
I haven't had a chance to do like the holiday work schedule, but he's looking for a job and I'm trying to get him make 2 steps.
So you're not doing anything now? You stay at home and do nothing?
I was.
He's looking for jobs.
I got put like 3-4 applications in.
School is more important, Mr. Ridley. You need to get your education, man. You need a high school diploma. At worst comes to worst, we can give you paperwork so you can do the schooling at home and get your GED online at a minimum, and we can give it to you for free. But I mean, you're at home you're not working, you're not going to school, you're doing nothing to make life better for yourself. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It gets more difficult. If you don't have a job, if you don't have an education, you will end up nowhere. And life sucks without money. Trust me. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving them the paperwork, please? We need to be somewhere, Mr. Ridley. I'm going to give you another couple weeks, 2.5 weeks. At the minimum, be enrolled to start working on your GED. Do you understand? I'm also going to drug test you. I'm not going to let you there's no smoking weed, none of this. Do you understand? If I find that you're using, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to keep you. Do you understand? All right.
One other issue, Judge, we would request, the complainant has made contact with the DA's office and let her thoughts be known on the case in a RIP call. And so we request that the no contact be just brought down to no threatening, harassing.
Who is it?
It's a girlfriend situation, Judge. And I spoke to DV about it. He reviewed it and said he was going to leave notes that they had no opposition to that.
Yeah, or even something else.
And yes, that is correct. The RIP does say no contact, so no threatening, harassing would be fine.
Okay. I will amend your bond condition, Mr. Ridley, to have no harassing contact with the complaining witness in this case. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? You need to start working on your education. Life doesn't get easier. Do you understand? That's my main concern. You graduate, you get your GED, we're all going to be jumping up and down because that's what you need. Without a high school diploma, you will literally make pennies when everybody else is making dollars. Do you understand? I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see you in 2 weeks. All right. Good morning, Mr. Arling. Sir, you were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. One to do probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On January 16, 2025 at 12:04 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling the wrong way at Belfort Avenue in Harris County, Texas. A traffic stop was initiated, and the defendant, the driver, did not initially roll down his window. After multiple commands by the officers, the defendant finally rolled down his windows, and the officer observed the defendant to make further movements as if to conceal something. The defendant did not produce his driver's license, and the officer observed a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle and his person. The officer observed the defendant to have a loaded firearm in his waistband, and the defendant stated he smoked earlier and was not the registered owner of the vehicle. The officer located in plain view, sticking out of the defendant's right pocket, a small package with training and experience is used to conceal marijuana. PC search was conducted, and the officer found 3.31 grams of marijuana under the driver's seat, and the defendant admitted the marijuana was his.
Arlene, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Did you run his license, see if he has?
Not eligible, Your Honor.
Okay, you are not allowed to drive. I am making that a condition of your bond. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand? You will be signing a promise with me. Like I said, I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 people. If you don't have a license and insurance, do not drive. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Arlene? Okay, I'm going to have you fill out an application. I need to know everything about you, and I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't become a danger to my public, and above all else, do not drive. Do you understand? Okay, come on. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
One moment, Your Honor, it's loading. Okay. On January 15, 2025, the officer was conducting surveillance in the Greenpoint area, and the officer was in an unmarked vehicle in an apartment complex and observed 18-year-old defendant join up with two other males, co-defendants. He had already witnessed using a firearm. The three males walked around the apartment complex together, and the officer witnessed the defendant being given the firearm and wave it around. The two other males encouraged the defendant to shoot the gun, and the officer did not see the defendant fire the weapon, and the officer maintained visual until the officers were able to detain all three defendants at a nearby gas station. The gun was found in the co-defendant's waistband, and all three individuals were placed in custody.
Mr. Saavedra, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in contact with any. Did anyone else get arrested in this case? Or is it just him? I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm sending you for a test right now. You're to come back. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Your Honor, there's a co-defendant in court 4. The cause number is 2547734.
You want to send it? Okay, so let's just do this for now. Go ahead, take a seat for me. We're going to transfer your case to the other court because that's where it belongs. Okay, please. And you are charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. On January 16th, 2025 at 2:02 a.m., the officer was dispatched in an attempt to locate. The officer was advised the defendant's sister was concerned for her well-being after not hearing from her. The defendant's sister stated her last known location was the Den, a bar, where she got a flat tire. While searching the area, the officer located the defendant's vehicle at the entrance of the University of Houston, and a witness was flagged down to assist changing the defendant's flat tire. The witness stated he observed the defendant as the sole occupant of the driver's seat of the vehicle, and the surveillance video showed the defendant's vehicle in motion at the time the witness came into contact with the defendant. The defendant was identified with Texas driver's license, and the officer made contact and observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, red, glossy, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking a wine cooler earlier in the day, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. The officer observed the defendant to be unsteady on her feet as she walked to the sidewalk, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.185 and 0.181.
And you're telling me there's video of her driving?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Levy, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Have you run your license and any prior DWIs?
Driver's license is eligible and no priors, Your Honor.
Judge after judge confronts a new wave of defendants, each one with a different story of recklessness, defiance, or fear. From concealed weapons to DWI charges, the morning transforms into a parade of second chances. But just when it seems the tension can't rise any higher, one defendant's fate takes a shocking turn.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You will be randomly tested. If you consume alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, I'll give you an application. I'll take a look at your numbers, and if you qualify, we'll provide you a lawyer today. Okay, just everything's fine. Don't worry. Just be safe. Okay, just don't. Okay, I don't want to talk about the case. Let's have you fill out the application, then I'll have you talk to a lawyer today. Okay, ma'am? Please.
Right this way.
Sir, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 15th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to Texas Southern regarding a male on campus possibly carrying a firearm. The caller provided the name and dispatch ran through arms and located a recent picture and a trespass notice. The officer observed the defendant walk into the library, immediately walked out accompanied by a second black male, and the officer attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant ran northbound, ran through an apartment complex. The officer drove through the complex and set up a perimeter and observed the defendant run out of the complex. The officer exited a marked patrol vehicle in full uniform, drew a duty weapon, and ordered the defendant to the ground. The defendant ignored the commands and continued running and was assisted to the ground by the officer. The defendant stated he ran due to being scared. The defendant evaded approximately 0.4 miles.
What was he doing wrong?
So there was a report of a possible firearm on campus, and the caller provided the name, and he was attempting to investigate that, and he was just trying to detain him to
They
investigate.
give the description of him.
They just gave the name, and then they
A name
ran
of-
that through arms, and they found a picture of that person.
So the caller gave the name of Mr. Newman.
Yes, Judge. Gave Mr. Newman's name. The officer ran that name and found a picture, and then observed him leaving the library and attempted to detain him.
Yes.
And then he ran.
There was also a current trespass notice for the defendant as well.
Yes, Judge.
From TSU.
From the arms or TSU.
Yes, Judge. They found for TSU through arms.
Mr. Newman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Let's do this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today because there's several things that we need to look at. So do you mind reaching out to the MAC for Mr. Newman? Mr. Newman, assuming we go forward with the case, you're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? I'm making that a condition of your bond.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you have any weapons, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
Just all I want is my community to be safe. I'm not asking for much. You understand? Okay. I'm going to have you sign a reset, Victoria, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir. Okay? So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand, sir, that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. When you plead guilty, you give up the right to appeal, meaning that you can never change this. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. Do you understand these rights that you're giving up?
Yes.
You also need to understand that there are no more proverbial slaps on the wrist. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up in here. And if you're not in this country with permission, you do anything short of more than 6 hours, you will get an ICE detainer. So if I were you, I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, I
How do you plead
understand.
to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 2. I'm going to suspend your ability to drive for 90 days. Do not drive, otherwise you're going to be right back over here, sir. What does your client do for a living, sir? What does your client do for a living?
He does the carpentry work there, labor work, the framing, that kind of thing. Home framing.
I'm asking this because there is a DPS surcharge that they usually tack on for around $3,000. I will waive this fee for you now, but I'm telling you on a DWI second, it's around a $6,000 surcharge on a DWI second. So get a clue. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're allowed to make a mistake, but when you continue to make mistakes with you endanger other people's lives, there are serious consequences. Good luck, sir. All right, wait a minute. All right,
Well, then there's a portable device, Judge, that you've been.
we'll take it off.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, please. Yeah. It looks like you were charged with 2 cases. You were charged with criminal trespass. You're also charged with criminal mischief. On both of those, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 48 days in jail with credit for the 16 that you've done on the criminal trespass. They're dismissing the other case.
Yes, Your Honor. Time served on the criminal trespass and dismissing criminal mischief.
Is this how you understand it, sir?
Yes.
You need to understand also that this charge will go on your record. You're now facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. Like I said, you give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it stays on your record. Is this what you want to do?
I believe so.
How do you plead to the offense, sir? Guilty.
I plead guilty.
All right, I'm going to find you guilty. I'll follow the agreement. Good luck to you, sir.
What about the enhancement?
Abandon. Yeah. Or wait a second. Is it listed as?
It's listed as.
Okay, hold on.
It's true.
Hold on.
Yes.
He's got to. Is it true or come up, Mr. LZ? Is it true or untrue that you had a prior terroristic threat, sir?
I'm on my medication, so I missed my medication. I had trouble getting my medication. I was just,
Did you have a prior terroristic threat in the past? It looks like from August of this past year with us.
I don't remember any terroristic threat towards you guys,
No, just in general.
You had a case in this court that you took 57 days time on, and that was August 20th of 2024. Do you remember taking that plea bargain?
I believe I was in court before, but,
That's all we need to know. That's it. Okay, all right. Thank you. I don't know if have we found probable cause on this first case? Or I mean, on the new case? Let me express my extreme disappointment, Mr. Guevara Ortiz. You now stand charged with yet another DWI. On this one, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 19th, 2025, at 11:43 p.m., the officer was dispatched due to a concerned citizen following a possible intoxicated driver. The call was near Northborough in Houston County, Harris County, Texas. The officer arrived at a public place and observed the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. And the witness stated the defendant was observed to have severe damage to the front passenger side, and he struggled to stay in its lane several times. The witness had eyes on the defendant until the officer arrived, and the officer made contact with the defendant, who advised that he had 3 Coronas and was coming from a gas station where he purchased the beers while driving home.
So drinking while,
No, Your Honor, there's no indication of that. He just purchased while driving home. and the officer observed glossy eyes, delayed responses, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer conducted standard field sobriety tests, HGN 6 out of 6. The defendant refused the walk and turn and one leg stand due to the cold temperatures. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to Barrett. The results were .189 and .177.
Mr. Guevara Ortiz, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case, and I am now going to revoke your bond on your first case, and I'm going to set it at 10,001. You now also have an immigration detainer, so you'll be stuck in there, I guess, until I need to know, counsel, if you guys are planning on trying to get him an immigration bond or not.
Your Honor, we don't represent him on the immigration case, but it's my understanding from Mr. Breston that there's an effort to address that.
Okay. You're signing on for Mr. Breston now, right?
Yeah, I work for him. Yes, sir.
Got it. All right. Mr. Guevara Ortiz, I'm now ordering you to have an ankle monitor on your ankle, and I'm giving you a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'm going to put a scram ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. On your other ankle, you will get a GPS monitor. I don't know if you're getting out of custody, but if you do get out of custody, these will be your bond conditions. You will have on one ankle, like I said, a scram monitor, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. On your other, you will get a GPS monitor, so I know that you're abiding by curfew. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll set you out for 30 days. Just keep us in the loop. If you are able to get an immigration bond, you must be here the next business day. If you fail to do so, I'm going to revoke both of your bonds and set them extremely high. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
The courtroom opens with quiet tension. Young Mr. Ridley, barely out of his teens, stands before the judge, a restless soul caught between rebellion and regret. His mother watches anxiously as the judge demands answers. Why isn't he working? Why isn't he in school? The judge's tone grows firm but almost fatherly, warning that life will only get harder if Ridley keeps drifting. Without education, the judge says gravely, you will make pennies when others make dollars. A final ultimatum is laid down, 2 weeks to enroll in GED classes or face consequences. The air thickens with disappointment and reluctant hope. But Ridley's hearing is only the beginning. The judge's day unfolds into a chain of stories, each one a small tragedy of its own. Next comes Mr. Arley, pulled over for driving the wrong way, reeking of marijuana, a gun hidden in his waistband. The judge's patience is razor thin. I don't care if there's a burning building. If you don't have a license, you don't drive. A promise is signed in silence. One mistake, one bad night, now defines his fate. Then Mr. Seve, barely 18, caught waving a gun in a parking lot with 2 friends who dared him to fire. The judge's command is cold and absolute. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs. Fail once and you're back in jail. Youth collides with consequence, and the courtroom hums with quiet regret. The next defendant, Miss Levy, faces the mirror of her own actions. Drunk, stranded with a flat tire, found slurring beside her car. Her blood alcohol level more than twice the legal limit. Her sister's worry is what saved her life. The judge, stern yet gentle, reminds her, no more second chances. One more drink and you're done. Moments later, Mr. Newman enters, a college trespasser who fled from police after a gun rumor spread through campus. His fear led him to run, but his flight sealed his guilt. All I want is my community to be safe, the judge declares. The weight of that sentence lingers in the quiet courtroom air. By afternoon, the cases grow heavier. One man pleads guilty to DUI, his carpentry job hanging in balance. Another accepts 48 days for trespassing, his trembling voice revealing more weariness than defiance. Each plea echoes the same truth. The courtroom is where denial dies and consequence begins. Then comes the final case, Mr. Guevara Ortiz, charged with yet another DUI, His breath test reads nearly .19, and this time there is no leniency left. The judge's disappointment cuts deep. You now have an immigration detainer. You'll wear 2 ankle monitors, one to track your steps, another to track your drinking. His freedom, once fragile, is now bound by metal and law. As the day ends, the courtroom stands as both battlefield and sanctuary, a place where justice and mercy wrestle in equal measure. Some walk out with warnings, others in cuffs, but all carry the echo of one truth. Every decision, no matter how small, rewrites the story of a life.